Have you ever wondered what happens in the first few moments after our last breath? Beyond the veil, when earthly life ceases and the soul stands at the threshold of eternity? We often think about judgment, about heaven or hell. But there is another reality, a place of purification spoken of by saints and mystics for centuries: Purgatory. Imagine for a moment that transition, the confusion, the awe, the sudden overwhelming realization that your life is over and a new spiritual existence has begun. In that critical moment, who is by your side? Who is there to guide you when you are most vulnerable, standing before the pure, unfiltered light of divine justice? You are not alone. There is one being who has been with you since the moment of your conception, a silent guardian, a celestial companion assigned to you by God Himself, your guardian angel. But what we are about to reveal is not just that they are with you. We are going to unveil what they specifically do for you, the words they speak, the actions they take, the very moment your soul might enter the purifying fires of purgatory. This is not speculation. This is not a theory. This is the testimony of one of the most profound mystics of the 20th century, a humble Polish nun to whom Jesus Himself appeared, entrusting her with a message for the entire world. Her name was Sister Maria Faustina Kowalska, now known to us as Saint Faustina. And in her diary, a spiritual treasure trove, she recorded a vision so detailed, so startling, it changes everything we thought we knew about our angel's final mission. What Saint Faustina heard, what she saw her own guardian angel do in that mystical journey to purgatory, is a revelation that has been hidden in plain sight. It's a message of incredible hope, profound mercy, and a stunning glimpse into the spiritual battle that continues even after death. So prepare yourself, because what you are about to hear may shake your understanding of the afterlife and deepen your relationship with your unseen protector in ways you never thought possible. To truly grasp the weight of this revelation, we must first understand the woman who received it. Faustina Kowalska was not a theologian or a scholar. She was a simple, uneducated woman from a poor family in Poland. She worked as a domestic servant before entering the convent, where she was assigned the most menial tasks: cooking, gardening, and answering the door. From the outside, her life was ordinary, even mundane. But within her soul, a universe of divine communication was unfolding. Jesus chose this humble vessel to be the apostle and secretary of His divine mercy. He appeared to her, spoke with her, and instructed her to write down everything He revealed in a diary, which she titled Divine Mercy in My Soul. This diary is not just a book. It is a direct testament, a window into the heart of God. And it is within these sacred pages that we find her detailed and at times terrifying accounts of her journeys into the supernatural realms. She was shown heaven, hell, and yes, the place of purification we call purgatory. But her visions were unique. They weren't just observations. She was an active participant, led by a guide. And that guide was her own guardian angel. This is crucial. This wasn't a story she was told. It was an experience she lived, a journey she took with the very being assigned to protect her. Think about that relationship. Your guardian angel sees everything, every triumph, every failure, every secret sin, every hidden act of charity. They know you more intimately than any person on earth ever could. They have fought for you, prayed for you, and protected you from countless dangers, both physical and spiritual, that you were never even aware of. Their mission is your salvation. Their entire existence is dedicated to getting you to heaven. So what happens if, at the moment of judgment, your soul is found worthy of heaven but not yet pure enough to enter? What happens when you are destined for eternal glory but must first pass through the cleansing fires? This is where the mission of your guardian angel enters its most critical and surprising phase. It's a phase most of us have never even considered. We imagine them leading us to the gates of heaven, their job completed. But Saint Faustina saw something entirely different. She saw that their work is far from over. Her vision began suddenly. She writes in her diary, entry 20, that she was taken by her angel to a place shrouded in mist, a place filled with fire, and in this fire a great multitude of suffering souls. The scene itself is overwhelming. She describes the terrible torment these souls endure, the nature of their purification. But it's what happened first that holds the secret we are exploring today. Before she saw the souls, before she understood the full scope of their suffering, she was standing at the entrance. She was a visitor, an observer, brought there for a divine purpose. And standing beside her was her celestial guide. What do you imagine an angel would do in such a place? Would they be silent? Would they simply point the way? Would they radiate a light that repels the darkness? The reality, as Faustina experienced it, is both more personal and more profound than any of those things. It reveals a tenderness and a specific duty that is almost too beautiful to comprehend. The first thing Faustina notes is not a sound, but a presence. The unwavering, calming, and protective presence of her angel. In a place of immense spiritual anguish, her angel was a shield of peace. He did not leave her side for a single instant. This tells us something vital. Even in Purgatory, God's messengers of love and protection are present. The souls there are not abandoned. They are not forgotten. But what did the angel say? What was the first instruction given to a soul on the verge of witnessing this realm of purification? The answer is not a command or a warning about the torments ahead. It is something far more significant, something that sets the stage for the entire purpose of Purgatory. What was it, and how does it reveal the angel's true role in this final cleansing? We will explore that very next. Before revealing the angel's first words, understand this. The moment a soul enters Purgatory, it is overwhelmed by two simultaneous, powerful realities. The first is the immense, painful awareness of its own imperfections, its stains of sin, and how unworthy it is to stand before a perfectly holy God. The second is an explosive, all-consuming love for that same God, a love it can now perceive with a clarity impossible on earth. It is in this crucible of painful self-knowledge and burning love that the guardian angel speaks. According to Saint Faustina's vision, the first thing her angel did was not to offer comfort in a human sense, nor to warn her of the pain. He gave her a mission. He ordered her to follow him. But more than that, he communicated the fundamental truth of this place. The truth is not about punishment, but about mercy. The angel's presence and guidance immediately framed the entire experience. He was showing her, and by extension us, that Purgatory is an extension of God's divine mercy. It is the final, merciful cleansing that allows a soul to experience the fullness of joy in heaven. His role was to be an interpreter of divine justice, showing that it is always, always intertwined with divine love. Led by her angel, Faustina then did something incredibly brave. She approached the suffering souls. She did not ask them about the nature of the fire or the physical pains. She asked a question that cut to the very heart of their experience. She asked, "What is your greatest torment?" And they answered her in one voice, a single unified cry from a multitude of souls. Their greatest torment was not the fire. It was not the memory of their sins. Their greatest torment, they said, was their longing for God. Let that sink in. The most intense suffering in the state of purification is the ache of separation from the source of all love, all joy, all peace. It is a spiritual homesickness of an intensity we cannot fathom. They have seen God's beauty, they have felt His love, and now they are separated from it, knowing that it is their own imperfections that are holding them back. This is the secret your guardian angel understands perfectly. He has spent his entire existence in the presence of God.
He knows the joy of the beatific vision. Therefore, he understands the pain of its absence better than anyone. His first role at the threshold of purgatory is to illuminate this reality for the soul. He helps the soul understand that this painful longing is not a punishment to be endured, but the very tool of its purification. This longing is what scours the soul clean. Every pang of desire for God's presence burns away another layer of selfishness, of pride, of attachment to earthly things. The angel stands by, not as a passive observer, but as a guide who helps the soul to focus its suffering, to turn that immense pain into an act of love and reparation.
On earth, our guardian angel constantly tries to turn our hearts towards God. He whispers inspirations, encourages prayer, and helps us to desire heaven. In purgatory, that mission intensifies 1,000-fold. He is there to constantly remind the soul of the goal, to keep the flame of that divine longing burning as brightly as possible, because that flame is what heals. This revelation from Saint Faustina completely reframes our understanding. We often view purgatory as a place God sends us to. But Faustina's vision, guided by her angel, shows us it is a state the soul chooses and desires. The soul itself, seeing its own impurity against God's perfect holiness, yearns for this cleansing so it can finally be united with its Creator. The angel, then, is not a jailer. He is a coach, a spiritual director in the final, most intense retreat of the soul's existence. He ensures the soul does not fall into despair, but rather embraces the purifying pain with hope, knowing that each moment of longing brings it one step closer to the eternal embrace of the Father. So we now understand the angel's first role, to be a guide and an illuminator, revealing the merciful purpose of this state. But does his involvement end there? Does he simply stand and watch as the soul endures this purification? Or does he take an active role in alleviating the suffering? The answer to this is perhaps the most hopeful part of this entire revelation, and it points to a direct connection between our world and the next. What does your guardian angel do to actively help you, and how can we, the living, participate in his mission? That is what we will uncover next. The role of the guardian angel is far from passive. He is not a silent, stoic guard standing watch over a suffering soul. He is an active participant, a minister of mercy, and most importantly, a vital link between the soul in purgatory and us, the Church on earth. This is where the revelation becomes intensely practical for every single one of us. When we pray for the souls in purgatory, especially for our own family and friends, those prayers are not lost in the ether. They do not simply accumulate in some spiritual account. According to the wisdom of the Church, it is the guardian angel of that specific soul who receives our prayers and presents them as a soothing balm. Imagine your loved one in that state of intense longing. Then picture their own guardian angel, the being they have known their entire existence, approaching them with the relief brought by your prayer, your sacrifice, your act of love. It is a personal delivery. The angel becomes the conduit of our charity, showing the soul that they are not forgotten, that they are still loved, still connected to the family of God. This is why the prayers of the living are so powerful. They are the medicine that the angel administers. A single Mass offered for a soul, a rosary prayed with intention, an act of charity done in their name, these things have immense power. The guardian angel takes the merit of these actions and applies it directly to the soul, shortening its time of purification and easing its suffering. Saint Faustina herself was told by Jesus of the importance of this mission. He urged her to pray constantly for the souls in purgatory. Her vision, therefore, wasn't just for her own understanding. It was a call to action for the entire world. It was a glimpse into the spiritual economy of salvation, where our small acts of love on earth can have eternal consequences. But the connection is not a one-way street. This is perhaps the most startling and beautiful part of the mystery. The guardian angel does not only bring our prayers to the soul, he also brings the soul's needs to us.
Have you ever had a sudden, vivid memory of someone who has passed away? A thought that seems to come out of nowhere, an inexplicable urge to visit their grave or simply say a prayer for them. We often dismiss these as mere moments of grief or nostalgia. But what if it's something more? What if it is their guardian angel, seeing their need, who crosses the veil and whispers that memory into your heart? What if that sudden thought is a direct spiritual request for help, communicated by the celestial being whose sole mission is that soul's final entry into glory? This understanding changes everything. It transforms random memories into sacred invitations. It turns moments of sadness into opportunities for grace.
The angel, in his wisdom, knows who on earth is most likely to respond, who has the most love for that suffering soul. And so he comes to us, inspiring us to perform the very acts of mercy that he will then carry back as a gift. It is a perfect circle of charity, orchestrated by our guardian angels. They are the tireless messengers in the communion of saints, ensuring that no one is truly alone in their journey. The soul in purgatory is not isolated. It is connected to us through the tireless ministry of its angelic companion. So we see the angel's role deepening. He is a guide, an illuminator of truth, a deliverer of our prayers, and an inspirer of our charity. He manages the entire process of purification with a love and efficiency that is beyond our comprehension. But what happens when that process is finally over? What is the angel's final, most triumphant act when the last trace of imperfection is burned away and the soul is made perfect, radiant, and ready for heaven? What does that glorious moment look like? That is the climax of his mission, and it's what we will witness next. The moment of liberation. This is the culmination of the guardian angel's entire mission, the very purpose for which he was created and assigned to that specific soul. Everything he has done, from the moment of conception, through every second of earthly life, through the agony of death, and the purification of purgatory, has led to this single glorious instant. When the soul's purification is complete, it becomes a mirror of God's own holiness. It is radiant, beautiful, and utterly free from every stain, every attachment, every shadow of sin. The intense longing that was its greatest torment is now transformed into a pure, uncontainable joy. It is ready. Saint Faustina did not explicitly describe this final moment in her vision of purgatory, but the writings of other great saints and theologians of the Church, like Saint Thomas Aquinas, paint a picture of breathtaking beauty. At that instant, the guardian angel's role shifts from that of a comforting guide to a triumphant herald. It is he who has the sublime honor of announcing to the soul that its time of waiting is over. Imagine hearing those words from the one who has been your constant companion. It is finished. You are ready. Come, let us go to our home. There is no more sorrow, no more waiting, only the pure thrill of impending union with God. The angel then does what he has longed to do since he first beheld the soul he was assigned to protect. He escorts the soul out of the realm of purification and leads it directly to the gates of paradise. This is not a solitary journey. This is a triumphant procession. Think of the joy of that angel. His mission is a success. The precious soul entrusted to his care has persevered, has been made perfect, and is now about to enter into eternal bliss. The bond between the angel and the soul, forged in the trials of earth and the fires of purgatory, is now perfected in the light of heaven. When they arrive, they are not met with silence. All of heaven rejoices. Jesus himself, along with the Blessed Virgin Mary, the saints, and choirs of angels, comes to welcome this new soul into the eternal family. And at the forefront of this celestial welcoming party is the soul's own guardian angel, presenting the fruit of his labor, the trophy of his love. He presents the soul to God, not as a defendant after a trial, but as a beloved child returning home. The angel's role is one of immense pride and joy.
He is, in a sense, saying to God, "Here is the soul you gave me to guard. I have fought for it, I have guided it, and now I bring it back to you, perfect and ready for your embrace." This moment reveals the depth of the personal relationship we have with our angel. He is not just a generic spirit guide. He is our personal champion, our advocate. His joy is inextricably linked to our own salvation. When we enter heaven, he enters into a new dimension of his own eternal happiness. But our relationship with him does not end there. It is transformed. In heaven, we will finally see our guardian angel face to face, unveiled in all his splendor. We will be able to thank him for every unseen protection, every whispered inspiration, every moment of guidance. We will understand for the first time the full scope of his work.
We will see the countless times he saved us from physical harm, the temptations he fought off on our behalf, the moments of despair when his presence gave us strength without us even realizing it. Our gratitude will be eternal, and we will spend eternity together, not as guardian and ward, but as companions in the adoration of God. We will praise God side by side, our voices joined with his in the eternal song of heaven. The temporary mission of guardianship gives way to an everlasting friendship in the presence of the Almighty. This glorious end is the ultimate destiny for every soul. But knowing this changes how we should live our lives right now. It changes our relationship with our angel today. How can this revelation from St. Faustina about purgatory impact our daily spiritual life and our very approach to death? That's the crucial question we need to answer. This celestial knowledge, this glimpse into the afterlife given to us through St. Faustina, is not meant to be stored away as a piece of interesting mystical trivia. It is a powerful truth meant to radically transform how we live our lives right here, right now. It is an invitation to activate a relationship that for many of us has remained dormant since childhood. The first and most profound impact is on our daily relationship with our guardian angel. We must stop seeing him as merely a protector from physical danger, a celestial bodyguard. He is our spiritual director, our personal trainer for holiness. His entire purpose is to prepare us for heaven, and he wants to do as much of that purifying work here on earth as possible, to spare us the pains of purgatory. This means we should begin to speak with him consciously, constantly, not just with the formal prayers we may have learned as children, but with the familiarity of a trusted friend. When you are tempted, say, "My angel, help me, defend me in this battle." When you are confused, "My angel, illuminate my mind, show me God's will." He sees your every struggle. He knows the root of your habitual sins. He knows your weaknesses better than you do. Invite him into that struggle. Ask for his specific help. By doing this, you are cooperating with his mission. You are allowing him to do his work now, instead of waiting for the cleansing fires later. You and your angel are a team with a single shared goal, your eternal salvation. Furthermore, this revelation should change how we approach the sacraments. Before going to confession, take a moment and ask your guardian angel to help you make a thorough examination of conscience. Ask him to reveal the hidden pride or attachments that you might otherwise overlook. He who sees all can help you bring everything into the light of God's mercy. And before receiving the Holy Eucharist, ask your angel to prepare your soul. He exists in perpetual adoration of God. Ask him to lend you some of his own reverence, his own awe, his own perfect love, so that you may receive Jesus with a purer heart. He will delight in helping you prepare a more worthy throne for the King of Kings within your soul. This knowledge also offers an immense consolation as we contemplate our own mortality. The fear of death and the unknown is natural, but the vision of St. Faustina gives us a concrete image of hope. We will not be alone in that final critical moment. Our most faithful friend will be there.
We can and should pray now for that moment. Oh, my dear guardian angel, be with me at the hour of my death. Protect me from the final assaults of the enemy. And when my soul leaves my body, do not abandon me. Lead me safely before the judgment seat of God. Praying this regularly builds a trust that robs death of its terror, replacing it with a serene confidence in God's mercy and your angel's care. So, we have learned to see our angel as a spiritual coach. We have learned to actively cooperate with him in our daily lives and to trust in his presence at the hour of our death. But this is all focused on our own soul. What about the souls of others? What about our loved ones who are struggling in their faith? Or our family and friends who have already passed away? Does our knowledge of the guardian angels open up a new way to help them too? The answer is a profound yes, and it reveals a hidden network of spiritual assistance that we can tap into right now. What is this secret, and how can we cooperate with the angels of others?
We will explore this incredible truth in our next part. The ministry of the guardian angels extends far beyond our own individual souls. They are part of a celestial hierarchy, a divine network of communication and assistance. Understanding this allows us to become active participants in the salvation of others in a way we may have never considered. We can actually cooperate with the guardian angels of other people. Think about someone in your life who is struggling, someone who has lost their faith, who is trapped in a cycle of sin, or who is simply facing a difficult trial. You pray for them, of course, but you can do more. You can speak directly to their guardian angel. You can say, "Angel of my son, angel of my friend, I implore you, protect them. Illuminate their conscience. Do not let them fall into this temptation. Bring them back to the path of God. I unite my prayers with yours for the salvation of this precious soul." This is an act of profound spiritual charity. You are acknowledging that their angel is on the ground in the midst of that spiritual battle, and you are sending reinforcements through your prayer. You are forming an alliance with that celestial being for the good of a soul you love. This is not some strange esoteric practice. It is a logical extension of our belief in the communion of saints and the ministry of angels. They are our allies in the work of evangelization and intercession. This practice becomes even more powerful when we consider the souls of our loved ones who have already passed on. We pray for them, we offer masses for them. But now we can add a new, personal dimension to our prayers. We can speak to their guardian angel, the one who is with them right now in their state of purification. Angel of my mother, angel of my father, I offer this prayer, this sacrifice for the soul you guard. Please take this grace and apply it to them. Comfort them in their longing. Assure them of our love and our prayers. Tell them we have not forgotten them. This changes our prayer for the dead from a general intention into a personal message of love delivered by the most faithful of messengers. It acknowledges the angel's active role as revealed by Saint Faustina, and it honors his sacred duty. It is a way of participating directly in their purification, of becoming a co-worker with their celestial guardian. This understanding also brings a profound sense of peace when we lose someone. We know that their soul, if in need of cleansing, is not abandoned in some lonely, dark place. It is in the care of a powerful and loving being who is ministering to them at every moment. Our prayers become our way of sending supplies, of sending relief to that soul through their angelic guide. This network of angelic cooperation is a hidden spiritual reality. It is the invisible web of grace that connects the church on earth, the church militant, the church in purgatory, the church suffering, and the church in heaven, the church triumphant. The guardian angels are the tireless messengers weaving this web, carrying grace and prayers back and forth across the veil. By consciously engaging with this reality, we step into a deeper level of our Catholic faith. We move from being passive believers to active participants in the great cosmic drama of salvation. We become allies of the angels. We have journeyed from the humble diary of a Polish nun to the very threshold of purgatory. We have seen the guardian angel's role as a guide, a comforter, a deliverer, a triumphant escort into heaven. We have learned how to cooperate with our own angel and the angels of others, both living and deceased. Now, we must bring all of this together. How do we synthesize this profound revelation into a final, actionable truth that can change our eternal destiny? What is the one ultimate message St. Faustina's vision leaves us with? That is the final, most important question we must answer. The ultimate message from St. Faustina's vision, the final overarching truth, is one of radical hope. It is the revelation that even in the most mysterious and intimidating phase of the soul's journey after death, we are not alone. God's mercy does not end at the moment of our last breath. In fact, it enters its most intimate and personal phase, administered by the one being who knows and loves us most, our guardian angel. Purgatory is not an eternal waiting room of divine indifference. It is an active, dynamic state of healing, a sacred infirmary for the soul.
And our guardian angel is the chief physician, the constant nurse, the faithful friend who stays by our bedside, administering the medicine of God's mercy and the balm of our prayers. He is there to ensure that the painful longing for God does not become despair, but rather the very fuel that propels the soul toward its final union. This knowledge should dismantle our fear and replace it with a profound sense of responsibility and love. A responsibility to live more purely now, in cooperation with our angel, to lessen our need for that future purification. And a love for the souls who are currently in that state, a love that compels us to pray for them, knowing our prayers are personally delivered messages of relief and hope. The bond with your guardian angel is the most enduring relationship you will ever have. It begins before you are born, and it does not end at the gates of heaven. It is perfected there. What St. Faustina heard and saw was a gift to us all, a pulling back of the curtain to show us that the journey home is a guided one, a protected one, a journey drenched in the infinite mercy of God. Transforming insights into action, your practical guide in the next 24 hours. Act of conscious recognition. Today, before you sleep, find a quiet moment. Close your eyes and speak to your guardian angel as if they were sitting beside you. Say aloud or in your heart, "My dear guardian angel, today I acknowledge your presence. I thank you for your constant protection. From now on, I want to live in friendship and cooperation with you. Please guide and protect me, especially at the hour of my death." Directed intercession prayer. Choose a person who has passed away and for whom you have special affection. Pray a simple prayer. "Eternal rest grant unto them, O Lord, and let perpetual light shine upon them." But as you do this, visualize that person's guardian angel receiving your prayer as a light and delivering it directly to their soul, bringing relief and comfort. In the next 7 days, Angelic Inspiration Journal. Just as St. Faustina kept her diary, keep a small notebook for a week. At the end of each day, write down a moment when you felt an inspiration for good, an inexplicable protection, or a thought of peace amidst chaos. Write, "Today, I believe my angel helped me when." This will train your soul to perceive his action. The weekly act of mercy. In honor of divine mercy and to alleviate the suffering of souls, perform a small act of charity this week. It can be as simple as giving a generous alms, calling someone who is lonely, or forgiving a small offense. As you do so, offer it consciously, saying, "Lord, I offer this small act for the most needy souls in purgatory, so that their angels may bring them relief." In the next 30 days, the Angelic Alliance. Choose a living person in your life whom you know is struggling spiritually or emotionally. For the next 30 days, commit to praying daily for that person's guardian angel. A simple prayer like, "Holy guardian angel of person's name, I unite my prayers with yours. Please enlighten, guard, rule, and guide person's name back to God's peace and light." The practice of the Divine Mercy Chaplet. Commit to praying the Divine Mercy Chaplet at least once a week for the next month. As you pray the words, "For the sake of his sorrowful passion, have mercy on us and on the whole world," have the specific intention of offering this prayer for the souls in purgatory, especially those who have no one to pray for them. Ask their guardian angels to distribute this mercy where it is most needed. You are never walking alone. Your guardian angel is simply lighting the way home. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next revelations. Comment what you thought of this video and from which city you are watching us. Share with someone who needs to know this message.